Hi friends. Hi friends. I hope you can see me and hear me clearly. Welcome to our session on CA Inter Auditing and Assurance, RTPs. I just want somebody to respond if you can see me and hear me clearly. We had a little technical issue a little while ago. All right, so somebody started saying that you can. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So happy to interact with you all again. Excellent, excellent. All right. So let's deep dive into this. Just to set expectation, this session will be for roughly around 70 to 75 minutes. Just make sure that you plan your time accordingly. Also, please make sure that you have the revision test papers 2020 with you. We are going to cover from new revision test papers. So I hope all of you have access to those revision test papers. Just in case you don't, here is a link to those revision test papers that I am sharing with you. I am just sharing that in the chat here. All right, here you go. So this is the link to the revision test papers, and you can look at that. Somebody's upset. Sir, how dare you take the class for 1 hour, 10 minutes? We thought it was just for 1 hour. You can leave after 1 hour if you wish, but I'm just setting expectation. Let us do it peacefully. It might be for 1 hour to 1 hour, 15 minutes or so roughly. So set your expectation accordingly so that we get to deep dive. So friends, I hope you're all doing well and healthy in these crazy times. Yes, right. Okay, cool. In terms of the session, this RTP, what we got for November 2020, I would rate this as one of the best RTPs that we have ever gotten. Now, a question around, sir, what is the strategic importance of an RTP? Just to put things in perspective, out of 100 marks, roughly we know that 75 marks will be descriptive, right? No question. Out of those 75 marks, about 45 marks, so roughly around 60%, right? So around 45 marks out of 75 marks in the last examination have come from RTPs and model test papers. So considering that, there is no point in not covering RTPs well, particularly the last 3-4 RTPs. It is good you go through those, right? I'm repeating, around 45 marks out of 100 marks of your examination can come from last 3-4 RTPs. That's what happened in the last examination. So taking that as a cue, I would encourage everybody to go through RTPs carefully, particularly last 3-4 RTPs. And in terms of overall examination priority out of 100 marks, just to have this ballpark, 60% of your 100 marks will come from essays, company audit, and Caro. Minimum, okay, minimum 60 marks. And it might sometimes even go to 70 marks, okay, right? So those are the broad, numbers what you can bear in mind. And we can go into the RTPs now in detail. I am assuming that everybody has RTPs in front of you as we are starting this session. If not, please download or do something about it. I am doing the session assuming that you have RTPs ahead of you or in front of you. We already shared that even in the notification, right? Now, just to again set expectation, we have about 70% of these RTPs which require discussion. Some 30% are straightforward. So the things which are straightforward, I don't think we need to spend too much time. I'll just kind of broadly touch upon those and move ahead. But the ones which are tricky are the ones where we will spend time. Okay, right. Now let's come to the first integrated case scenario. Okay, can we get past 3 to 4 RTPs? Of course, everything is available on Institute's website. Just Look at the student knowledge portal, BOS knowledge portal. You have all of those, Surya. Right. Friends, please come to integrated case scenario 1. Messrs. JJ and Associates, having office in Chennai, are statutory auditors under Companies Act 2013 of company Sweet Aroma Private Limited, engaged in business of obtaining and manufacturing rice from paddy, catering to both domestic as well as international market, mainly in Gulf nations. The company has a huge plant capacity for rice extraction in one of the states in northern India. Needless to state that inventories are in huge quantity in such type of business consisting of raw material, work in progress, and finished goods. The auditors want to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding inventories. See, honestly, out of all this, what is that one sentence you want to take away? The auditors want to get sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding inventories, and in this business, the inventories is basically that rice business. Okay, right. Now, in the above context, answer the following questions. Which of the following is most likely correct in relation to obtaining a sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding existence and condition of inventory? Friends, if you want to get comfort regarding existence and condition of inventory, just before we read the options, any quick guesses? Existence and condition of inventory, if you want, what should we do? Quick guesses. Post your reply fast. Karo. Okay, I don't know who this WWW is. I feel you're a fighter, but yes, I think you're kind of close to it. So physical verification, particularly attending that physical verification, can give a lot of comfort to the auditor. Okay, right. All right, great. Come on, now let's look at the options. So what is the question saying? Which of the following is most likely correct in relation to obtaining sufficient appropriate audit evidence regarding existence and condition? It is mandatory for the auditor to attend physical inventory counting on the date of financial statements in all circumstances. In all circumstances is kind of making me slightly unsure about this. Then, physical inventory counting may be attended by auditor on the date of financial statements or at a date other than date of financial statements at his discretion, mandatorily in all circumstances. Again, mandatorily that person should attend is what it says. That's again something making me unsure whether that is right. Then, the attendance of auditors at physical inventory counting is impractical due to time and cost involved, because auditor's office location vis-a-vis company's plant location. Hence, attendance at physical inventory counting may be skipped and alternative presumably performed. I don't feel convinced about this because doing physical verification has its importance, and it is one of the procedures. So look at the fourth one. The auditor shall attend physical inventory counting unless impracticable. However, issue of time and cost involved because of auditor's office location vis-a-vis company's plant is not a valid basis for skipping physical inventory counting. Friends, the fourth one sounds more reasonable because of 2 points. Look at this. What it says is, shall attend physical inventory counting unless impracticable. Unless impracticable. If it is impracticable, what should the auditor do? Should carry out alternative audit procedures. Okay. So, but the idea is you should not say, oh, the client plant location is far off, my office is different, so I'll not attend. No, that's not the right answer. Okay. Right. So the option number D, what you see here, seems the closest and the most reasonable. But think about it, friends. What I love about these integrated case studies is this. You can easily feel convinced just by reading option A that this is the answer. My humble request to all of you, please do not conclude just by reading one. When you read that, you should think, what portion of this answer I feel is reasonable? What portion of this answer I feel is unreasonable? You have to just have that judgment and keep reading. Some you may say, this is definitely not right. See, out of these 4 options, I would have said that option C, definitely not right. Okay, so that is easy. But if you look at option A and B, they are half truths. Half truths are more dangerous, right? So they kind of drag us into the answer. So don't conclude without reading the other options. And let's look at the next one. Below are given certain cluster of matters which are relevant in planning attendance of auditor at physical inventory counting. Which of the following clusters consists of a likely inappropriate combination? Such brilliant questioning. Such brilliant questioning. Come on, let us read this question again, understand what this means. The reason why I said have a little window after 7:15 or so is because if the questions what we're discussing take time, so be it. That's okay, right? You're not in a hurry. I should not be in a hurry. The objective should be to learn the way to read these questions and approach them, and the approach that we have to take in the examination. Okay, right? Look at this. Below are certain criteria cluster of okay, right? Look at this. What combinations? Which of the following clusters consists of a likely inappropriate combination? So it's not asking for an appropriate combination. So what combination is inappropriate? Nature of inventory, timing of inventory, physical inventory counting, and stages of completion of work in progress. Okay, right. Then nature of inventory, timing of physical inventory counting, and valuation method of inventory. Okay. Then read the next one. Nature of inventory, timing of physical inventory counting, considerations regarding maintenance of perpetual inventory system. And the last one, it says risks of material misstatements related to inventory, nature of internal controls pertaining to inventory, considerations regarding maintenance of perpetual inventory system. Okay, guys, I think we just have a power outage. Just give me 30 seconds. I'll be back. All right. So, any quick guesses on which of these four options make sense? I want to hear from you all. Quickly, you can just share your response. You can post your response in the comments. Varun says D. Aditya says A. I love such cases where people are fighting. Sai Nilima says C. Wow. This must be quite a question. Otherwise, you can't have so many answers. So you have all ABCD. That's all I want. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, right. So the fact that you have all ABCD means that there is something tricky enough for us to understand. Okay, you can stop responding. You can start focusing on this question. All right, peeps. I understand that as you see these answers, you have A, B, C, D. Harshvardhan is repeatedly saying B, sir, B, sir. Bolo, sir, why is it B, sir? Harshvardhan, why is it B? If you're so confident it is B. Okay, right. Friends, others, you can just quickly read the question. It's a very tricky question. What is it saying? Below are given certain clusters of matters which are relevant in planning attendance of auditor at physical inventory counting. Okay, to plan the attendance of auditor at physical inventory counting. Nature of inventory, that is 1. Okay, timing of inventory counting, that is 2. Stages of completion of work in progress, that is what we saw. I don't know why. all right. Okay, come on. Now, don't focus on chat. Focus on the way we are approaching this. See, in examination, you may get a new question, right? What's important is, with a cool head, how do you read the question and how do you figure out the option which makes the most sense, right? So from that point of view, nature of inventory, timing of inventory counting procedures, stages of completion of work in progress. That is what option A talks about. Nature of inventory, is it required? What is the context of the question? Relevant in planning attendance of auditor at inventory counting. See, as an auditor, you want to decide whether you want to attend this inventory counting or not. Tell me, what is the first and foremost thing that you care? Should I attend the inventory counting or not? What is the first and foremost thing what I care? Is that entire value of inventory, is it worth my time and effort? Imagine it is a company whose balance sheet assets are at 100 crores. Inventory in that is 5 lakhs. Okay. Inventory is just 5 lakhs in a 100 crore balance sheet. Then I may say, hey, I may not really attend as an auditor, I may not really attend the inventory counting because that amount of inventory is too tiny for me to even plan the inventory counting. Friends, are you getting the point here? So one of the things, the very first and foremost thing what I would consider as an auditor is, because inventory, attending the inventory counting will give us comfort on existence and valuation of inventory. I have to answer to myself as an auditor whether the value of inventory is worth my time and effort. Are you getting this point, right? Is everybody clear about this logic? Just only this point what I discussed in the last 1 minute. Is everybody clear about that? Can you quickly respond? Yeah, right. Okay. So when a question is not clear, a lot of people suddenly start worrying. Oh, what do I do? How do I respond to this question? Don't worry. You have to read with a cool head. Okay. So read with a cool head. We need not make the world's best choice. We should make the choice which is to the best of our ability. Okay. Read it with a cool head, with a smile. Again, if you don't understand the question, and figure out what makes the most sense. So when you saw that it is at a planning level decision, should I attend the physical inventory counting at that level when I'm planning? Then I'm saying, what is the value of inventory? Now, if you look at that, in option A, is value of inventory there? No, it is not there. In option C, it is talking about maintenance of perpetual inventory system. All that is okay, but value of inventory is not coming out in a striking manner, right? Then in option D also, it's not. So considering that, in option B, nature of inventory, timing of physical inventory counting, and most importantly, valuation method of inventory. So then you're saying, okay, now I know that these, based on all this, I have to go and attend the inventory valuation, right? Then again, so friends, I would say one other key trick as you approach these questions is, it's easy to say, hey, this is the answer in a situation which is not examination, but in exam, please go with something called probability of elimination. Out of those 4, you should first look at eliminating some answers. saying this is definitely not the answer, this is definitely not the answer, then the best guess what you make or the best chance what you take, right? Ideally, it should be like, if you know exactly this is the one, excellent. Otherwise, your choice should ideally be between max one or two things, not more than that. So you should eliminate the ones which are less probable. So that's a great technique to narrow down or to have a great chance of succeeding in your exams, particularly for questions like this. Come on, let's look at the next one. So what is the next one? Which of the following is most likely logical sequence of steps in relation to attendance at physical inventory counting by auditor? Oh my God, what type of questions they're asking. I'm very happy with the quality of questions which we are getting in examinations these days, because only then will chartered accountants like you, people who are studying with all conceptual clarity, get to stand out compared to most others who just by heart. Okay, these kind of questions people cannot answer if you just by heart. Okay, come on, let's look at this question. Which of the following is the most likely logical sequence of steps in relation to attendance at inventory counting, physical inventory counting by auditor? The first one, hey, quickly share this link with your other friends for them to attend this session if you feel this session is adding value to you, right? So that your other friends also can get to can stand benefited. Observance of performance of management's count procedures means basically observing how management is counting. Inspection of inventory, okay, that is self-explanatory. Performing test counts and evaluation of management's procedures for recording and controlling results of physical inventory counting. Okay, right, fine. That sounds there's not that nothing sounds wrong with that, at least as you listen to that, right? Then observance of performance of management's count procedures, then performing test counts, inspection of inventory and evaluation of management's procedures for recording and controlling results of physical inventory counting. Nothing sounds wrong even with this. Then performing test counts, inspection of inventory, observance of performance of management's count procedures, and evaluation of management's procedures for recording and controlling results of physical inventory counting. Sounds close to reality, right? Wow, how can so many things be close to reality? That is what is called examination. Evaluation of management's procedures for recording and controlling results of physical inventory counting, observance of performance and management's count procedures, inspection of inventory and performing test counts. You'll be like, sir, this is basically same sentence written in 4 forms. How many of you feel like that? This is same sentence written. Shweta Kumari saying, sir, increase the speed. Okay, I'm increasing speed. Observance of performance of management's count procedures, inspection of inventory. It doesn't work that way, Shweta. Have patience. Have patience. Okay? Right. So let's think through this well, friends. All 4 sound somewhat close to the answer, right? You can't disagree with that. How do you choose? Come on, I want to hear from you what your options are. Jannu says it is D, sir. Why, sir? Why do you say that it is D? Come on, why do you think it is D? Apurva says it is me. Oh, I don't have an option like that. Feeling most appropriate. Sir, where are you getting that feeling from? What words are making you get that feeling? It's a great question. I understand that. We can appreciate the question for next 10 minutes. But the point is now we need to quickly get to the answer too. So what's the thing which is making you feel something is an answer? Suddenly all the options, nobody is saying A, B, C, D. Well, like, sir, I think it is A and B and C and D because A is equal to B is equal to C is equal to D. Okay. All right. Now, friends, please listen. Let's. Background portrait is some soothing, sir. Thank you. Okay. All right. Hey, come on, Nagendra. We will answer questions. We will talk about this, and for questions like that, please reach out to the team over help desk. This is not the forum for your other questions. Okay, right, friends. Now, please stop responding in the chat. Please concentrate. We can get questions like this in exam, and we have to understand the way to approach them. It is not just the answer to this. The approach to this is what is more important. Come on. Everybody, please concentrate. The question again, which of the following is the most likely logical sequence of steps in relation to attendance at physical inventory counting by the auditor? Friends, please understand, inventory is an asset, right? Safeguarding the assets of the entity is the primary responsibility of dash who? Fill the blanks. Inventory, which is an asset. Safeguarding the assets of the entity is the primary responsibility of, Achyuta says, management. That's right. Right? So it is the primary responsibility of management. So who should have procedures in place for inventory verification? Management, right? So where does this thing start? Think about it, a small point. So basically, you have to say management is responsible. So as an auditor, when you do the inventory counting, the first and foremost thing, what should happen? A couple of days or 2-3 days ahead of your inventory counting, management should send a list. Basically, it should send the form of, this is the procedure in which the inventory verification will be carried out. These are the people, this is the kind of cutoff. On this date, on the date of inventory verification, there will be no movement of inventory. These are the people designated from our side for inventory counting. Like this, management will send a form or an inventory verification procedure document to the auditor. At auditor's office, see, that thought process or that mind map will help you understand how to answer this question. Otherwise, it is difficult. Auditor sitting at his or her office will go through the procedure and say, okay, yeah, of course, stock audit. So we'll look at that and say, okay, so this is how management plans to carry out the verification of inventory. Achha, okay. So where is this happening? At the auditor's office. Then the auditor says, okay, this looks reasonable. I will go for the inventory counting. So if you look at A and B starts with observance of performance of management's count procedures. Means you're already at the client's place. Before you go to client's place, a few days before, a couple of days at least before the stock audit, you should get the instruction list from the management. So option A and B get eliminated if you know this point. Friends, is everybody clear about this? Option A and B assume that you are already at the client location and observing the management's count. Okay, right. Now, is everybody clear about how you eliminated A and B? It's a trick question. Let's take it slowly. It's okay. Yeah, right, great. Now come to the next one. Performing test counts, inspection of inventory. Hang on, you are performing test counts. What is this? First, you have to observe inventory and observe how management is counting inventory. Okay, and then you have a procedure where you also do test checking. So this point C is further ahead. Point C is further, after you observe performance of management's inventory, then you talk about performing the test count. So point C is further down the chain. Okay, right. So where does it start? Evaluation of management's procedures for recording and controlling results of physical inventory counting, observance of performance of management's count procedures, inspection of inventory, then comes performing test counts. See, friends, even in our detailed videos, this is what I keep emphasizing on. When you are learning something, you should feel it, you should experience it. Okay, so you should actually be that auditor who says, okay, as I start the inventory verification, what is the beginning point? I get this list. Then I go through the list of procedures. Are these procedures reasonable or not? If they're reasonable, then I go for the count. Then when I go for the count, what do I do? So that way, if you have a mind map of these, it becomes easy for you to have an understanding of the answer. So based on this discussion, are we clear as to why answer D is the right answer? Yeah, right. So answer D is the right answer. So now I want to ask, a few of our friends said, sir, you should go fast. Do you want me to go fast quickly? I would say, read the question, answer D is the answer, and I'll just go ahead. Do you think that kind of speed is acceptable to you, for if you really have to understand the nuance of all these questions? All right. Okay. So, friends, it's okay if we are not able to complete all the questions of RTP in this short. We will make sure you perfectly understand this by having one more session, right? What big deal? But what's more important, we have to master this perfectly, right? Okay. Now, look at question number 4. During attendance at physical inventory counting, the auditor inspects inventory. Following outcomes stated as 1, 2, and 3 are given below of this inspection procedure. Look at this. During attendance at physical inventory counting, auditor inspects inventory. Following outcomes stated as 1, 2, 3 are given below of this inspection procedure. Outcome 1, existence of inventory. Outcome 2, ownership of inventory. Outcome 3, condition of inventory. Okay, right. Now, what is the question? Which of the following statements is most likely true? Outcomes 1, 2, and 3 are all necessarily established after inspection. Only outcomes 1 and 2 are established after inspection. Outcome 2 is never established. Great. Outcomes 1 and 3 are established after inspection. However, outcome 2 may not be necessarily established. D. Outcome 2 and 3 are established after inspection. However, outcome 1 may not be necessarily established. Again, a trick question. How do you answer this? How do you deal with this? Come on, friends. How do you think about it? It first requires a cool head, a smile on your, cool head and smile on your face whenever you see trick questions. Okay, come on, friends. What is this? During attendance at physical inventory counting, auditor inspects inventory. We know that. Okay. There are 3 outcomes. Tell me, friends, what is the objective? What is the objective of physical verification of inventory? What is the objective of physical verification of inventory? What do you want to get out of the process when you do physical verification of inventory? Can anybody respond in the chat quickly? Existence, agreed. Does inventory exist or not? That is an assertion you want to address. Okay, right. Existence. Yes. Arunachalam is saying condition. Existence. Second answer we got is condition. Also, okay, right? So, friends, as we learn in the auditing standards, existence and see, when you go for physical verification, when you decide that, okay, based on the value of inventory, listen to the sequence. Based on the value of inventory and the risk associated, I want to go and do I want to observe the physical verification process of inventory. Friends, concentrate carefully. I'm saying based on the value of inventory and the risk associated with inventory, I, as an auditor, decided that I will observe the inventory counting procedure. When I go to observe the inventory counting procedure, I want to check particularly existence and condition of inventory, because these 2 assertions you cannot otherwise obtain easily. Please understand, existence and condition are 2 things very important. Existence, something is there in records, but does it really exist, or is it just available only in records? That is a question that you may have, right? So for that, existence of inventory. I'm repeating, friends. something is there in the records. Does it really exist or not? Or is it just a fake bill which is recorded? To answer that, you need to verify this during inventory or verification. You need to get comfort on existence. The second thing is regarding condition of inventory. When I say condition of inventory, yes, we are talking about 10,000 glasses. Okay, maybe these are window panes or whatever. So these are glasses, something. So these should be there in the stock. When I went there, I found all of them are broken. They are there, but they are broken. Now you may ask this question: hey, if these are broken, that affects the valuation again, right? That affects the valuation. So by observing in the inventory counting, you get answers to the existence and the answer regarding existence and condition. When you talk about ownership, to get answer to this ownership question, see, possession is a proxy sometimes for ownership. I understand. Okay, possession is a proxy, like having those in that go down, having those goods in the custody is sometimes gives you a feeling that maybe we are the owners. But please understand, friends, even without we being the owners, we may still have goods in our custody. Maybe the goods are already sold. The customer left those goods still in our go down. They haven't taken, but the risk and reward is transferred. Or these goods we have in our go down on consignment basis. We are the consigner. Okay. So we are the consignee. We have them in our go down, but these goods don't belong to us. Such cases also can exist. So that is why. So what are the things sure shot you do get comfort on when you do physical verification, existence and condition of inventory? Look at this 1 and 3. In which outcome is this given? Outcome 1 and outcome 3. So basically that combination of outcome 1 and 3 is given in C. Okay. That is why I am choosing C. Is everybody clear about this? Can you please respond? Yeah, brilliant. Okay. So friends, these questions, integrated cases, are trick questions, and the way to solve them is first of all having a cool head and attention to details. Okay, right. Come on, let's look at the next one. It was observed by auditors that out of total rice physically counted on 31st March 2020, about 67 quintals of rice belonged to Messrs. PQR, a proprietary concern which had sent paddy to this company's plant for extraction of rice. What would be the treatment of this item in the financial statements of the company? Okay, right. Before we look at the answers, let us read the question again, understand what it means. It was observed by the auditors that out of total rice physically counted on the year end, about 67 quintals of rice belonged to some other company which had sent paddy to us for extraction. So it is their rice. Our job is only to extract it and give it to them. Okay, right. So what would be the treatment of this item in the financial statements? Okay, look at the answers. Friends, look at these answers. A, B, C, D. As we read, you have to tell me what the correct answer is and why. It's not just saying what. You have to tell me why that's the correct answer. Value of 67 quintals rice would be reflected in company's financial statements as per method of valuation adopted by company. Sounds interesting. Okay, because see, you have to follow the method of valuation and then you have to decide at what value you have to show. Sounds convincing. Value of 67 quintals rice would be reflected in company's financial statements as per method of valuation adopted by proprietary concern. That also finds reasonable, right? So that all sounds very reasonable, right? So not by the company, whatever the proprietor is following, based on that we have to do. Value of 67 quintals of rice would not be reflected in company's financial statements. Why? Sounds weird. It's in our custody. Value of 67 quintals rice would be reflected in proprietary concerns financial statements as per method of valuation adopted by the company. Yeah, sounds nice, right? So as per this company's method, proprietor will account it. Yeah, sounds convincing. Come on, my dear chartered accountants, what is your take on these 4 options? What would you say? Hey, Rupesh, you have to also give me a logic, man. Why? Why do you say it is C? C. Why? Why? My question to you is why? Why do you say that? Oh, you people seem to be very convinced about this question. Because it does not belong to company. It's a service provided by the company. It's like job work, title of goods, revenue actually. C is different from other. It's a job work, belongs to third party. Hey, amazing, amazing. Option C because it's different. I'll give you one. Because it's not in ownership of the company. Okay, brilliant, guys. Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, right. So, good. I'm glad you thought through this question correctly. Friends, see, those who do not give attention to details, those who don't have concepts, have no chance of answering this question, right? So, this is a question which says the goods are received by this company. Those rice bags are like job work, right? So, you will get some job work wages, that wage or job work commission, something you will get, some remuneration you will get. That will go into your incomes. That's all. That is not a part of your inventory. So, the point what we're talking in the previous question, just because some goods are lying in your godown does not automatically mean that those goods belong to you, right? So ownership is not assumed. You cannot account something in your financials unless risk and reward is transferred to you. Here risk and reward is not yours. So all those details like company as per its accounting policy, that company's accounting policy, hey, come on, nonsense. We will not account it as an inventory at all in our books. Now look at that option D. I felt option D, could have confused some people because you could have said, the other company should account. Other proprietary companies should account as per their accounting policy. Why will they account as per my accounting policy? Meaningless, right? So that way, option C, as you correctly guessed, is the answer. Okay, friends, depending on the time what these integrated case scenarios are taking, I feel that we should spend time discussing in detail one more integrated case scenario. Do you think so? Yeah, right. So what we will do is, let us do tomorrow at a similar time. Let us do one more session for another integrated case scenario, so that your head doesn't get choked with too many. And now let us do a few others. Okay, right. Now we'll do a few other questions and then go to the integrated case scenarios. Right. Now look at this. Look at these questions, friends. So we want to answer. I want to come to basically part 2B. Part 2B, descriptive questions. Okay. Tomorrow we will cover some more points in the above segment. Please come to descriptive questions part 2B, page number 6. Okay. Could everybody spot those? Spot that? Descriptive questions part 2B. Yeah, right. State with reason, in short, whether the following statements are true or false. Right. Overall audit plan sets the scope, timing, and direction of audit and guides the development of a more detailed audit plan. Oh, wait. Oh, it's audit strategy they wrote. Incorrect. Okay. So here it's false, because once you have clarity on this, it guides development of a more, more thorough audit plan, more detailed audit plan. See, friends, one small point is, study material or even RTPs are slightly inconsistent about it. But if the question at the top says state whether these are true or false, in your answer, you have to first write true or false, one of the two. Okay, don't write correct, incorrect, and all. I don't think that makes sense. If the question is asking true or false, please write true or false. What do you lose? Okay, and then just write one sentence based on that. Okay, as to why you say that. It's yeah. So if it is just if you say what if, so I'll reread this. Instead of audit strategy, like detailed audit strategy, if the question says more detailed audit plan, I'm changing the question. Instead of more detailed audit strategy, the question says more detailed audit plan. Will that be true or false? Hey, then don't say correct. Then say true. Okay. Then say true. Correct, incorrect versus true or false. If they are asking true or false, say true or false. No. Why do you have to say correct or incorrect? Okay. Right. Good. So I hope you understood exactly what needs to change in this question. Right. Come on. Now let's move to the next one. Constitution of India contains no specific provisions regarding the appointment, salaries, and duties of the powers of C and AG. Moreover, the Constitution does not guarantee the independence of C and AG. What do you think? I feel it is true. All these are not given in Constitution. All these are given in WhatsApp University. We have to take these from WhatsApp University regarding C and AG. Right? It's false. Okay. Remember, friends, C and AG is related terms, conditions. All these are given in the Constitution, and C and after all, C and AG is an important element to make the country work, to make the Constitution work. Okay, so considering that, if I remove, okay, now I want to do true and false in an interesting way. Imagine if the question removes Constitution of India contains specific provisions. Okay, yeah, that word no is removed, and moreover, Constitution does guarantee the independence of C and AG of India. Is that sentence true or false? Okay, so based on this understanding, what I want you to do is please highlight those keywords. What is making you shift your loyalty from false to true or true to false? Please highlight those words. Read them carefully. In your exam also, you need to spot those words. This is the thing which is making me say it. This is the one which is making me say true or false. Spot those. Then you can be more confident about what you are answering. Okay, friends? Right. Now, please move to the next one. When we are designing audit procedures to address an inherent risk or what can go wrong, we consider the nature of risk of material misstatement. What do you think? True or false? Everybody thinks it is true? Okay. Great, great. I think it sounds probably a little self-explanatory, so you find it true. Now, because I am me, I will add a word to this. I want you to tell me whether that is true or not. Okay? Listen carefully. See, you have to understand that the same question will not come in exam. This kind of thinking will be helpful to you when you are doing your exams. Okay? Right. Listen carefully. When we are designing audit procedures to address an inherent risk or what can go wrong, we consider the nature of risk of material misstatement at account balance level. Because that is true, this is false. Huh? Everybody will say, false, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. All right. Okay, friends. Okay, right. Listen carefully. Okay, right. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. So what are we saying? What are we saying here? When we design audit procedures to address an inherent risk, okay? When you talk about inherent risk, it is a risk which is there. For example, cash. Cash has inherent risk of being misappropriated. Cash has inherent risk of being misappropriated. Cash has risk of being stolen. Okay. We consider the nature of risk of material misstatement at account balance level. Technically, there is nothing wrong with that sentence. Okay. So there is nothing wrong. You can't say, oh, that is false. Why is it false? I'll read the sentence with an example. See, when such things are there, just read the sentence with an example. When we are designing audit ABCD. Hey, Vasant Kumar, listen carefully. When we are designing audit procedures to address inherent risk, okay, say cash, the inherent risk with cash is that cash can be stolen, okay, that is the inherent risk, okay, or what can go wrong. We consider the nature of the risk of material misstatement. So we consider the nature of risk of material misstatement means nature of what can go wrong. I'm just adding a phrase at account balance level, right? Or at an assertion level. So assertion level or account balance level, by the way, mean the same thing. Okay. So at an account balance level, when I say, then you say, yeah, possible, right? So with respect to cash, what can go wrong? I will think about it to understand how the risk should be addressed. Okay, right. See, please read points carefully. Examiner can give like the very next thing. Imagine the very next thing is they change a word like this and ask you, and you will be tempted to say, oh, if that is correct, if I'm confident that is true, I feel inclined to say this is false. Okay, just because a word changed. Not necessary. Okay, right. Friends, I hope you understood what I meant. Let us go to the next one. If an entity has a known number of employees at a fixed rates of pay throughout the period, there would be more need to perform test of details on payroll. Sounds convincing. What do you think, friends? True. No. Hari says no. Why? True. False. True. False. All right. Why do you say it's false? That's important, right? So it's not just simply saying it's false. Why do you say it's false? Test of details should be done anyway, sir. Test of details should be done in sleep also, sir. When you start the audit, when you end the audit, when you kill the client. Huh? Right. Come on, listen. Concentrate carefully, friends. You know. Okay. Right. Listen. Stop responding. Not necessarily. Okay. Here is a conceptual point again. Do you people remember our audit comfort bucket? Right? Our beautiful audit comfort bucket where we have, in the bottom half of the audit comfort bucket, we have compliance procedures, and in the top you have substantive procedures, right? After you perform compliance procedures, which is largely, test of controls and compliance with laws and regulations, then you come to substantive procedures. In substantive procedures, what are the two things you have? In substantive procedures, what are the two things? Come on, quickly respond. In substantive procedures, what are the two things you look for? In substantive procedures, we have, what are the two things? Fast, guys, come on. analytical procedures and test of details. Two things, okay? Analytical procedures, substantive analytical procedures and test of details. Do not say test of details and analytics. It is analytics and test of details. We understand the sequence in which we climb up in our audit comfort bucket, right? So when I draw audit comfort bucket, I show an up arrow. You start with compliance procedures, then you go to substantive procedures. Yeah, I mean, again, in substantive procedures, you start with analytics, then you go into test of details. Okay. If an auditor can get a large amount of comfort from analytical procedures, the extent of test of details will also come down. And when it comes to analytical procedures, what do you try doing? You basically try to develop an independent expectation, decide a threshold or a materiality level, compare your expectation with actuals, and then if the deviation is significant, you will investigate into differences. Now look at the question. That is what you should have learned at the back end. Okay. Now look at the question. It says it has known number of employees. Okay. When you are developing an expectation, here it says you have a known number of employees, fixed rates of pay throughout the period. I am telling you 100 rupees I am paying per month for 12 months to 10 people. Okay. 100 rupees I am paying over 12 months to 10 people. Okay. Now tell me, to get comfort on this, what would you do? Will you quickly calculate 100 rupees into 1200 for 10 people? 1200 into 10, it is 12,000. Do you do analytics, or do you say, come on, give me all the paychecks, show me the bank statements? What will you do as a first step, and what will give you more comfort in such case? Analytics or test of details? Analytics, right? So analytics here will give you test of more comfort. So here, friends, it is important to identify in this true or false also that word. Highlight that word and say, if the answer were, we need to perform. Imagine, we need to perform analytics on the payroll. If the answer were, we need to perform analytics on the payroll, then will your answer be true or false? All right. So that's what basically it is. So highlight or underline that word test of details. Basically, because it is test of details, you are saying incorrect. Had it been analytics, your answer would have been correct. It is so easy for the examiner to just change one word and create another case. Okay, right. Let us move to the next one. The term relative, as defined under Companies Act 2013, means anyone who is closely related to another. Basically, a person to whom you send marriage invitation. Oh, it is not there, but I just read it like that. So anyone who is close, who is close to you. Is that defined as per Companies Act or not? Relative is defined as per Companies Act. Member of HUF, husband or wife, siblings, then father including stepfather, mother including stepmother, son including stepson, son's wife, daughter including stepdaughter, daughter's husband, brother including stepbrother, sister including stepsister. So exactly who is included in the relative is given in the Companies Act. Okay, you cannot just have a vague definition. So considering that, this is false. Okay, right. So we are clear about this. Okay, right. Then come to next question. According to section 141, the auditor appointed under 139 may be removed from his office before expiry of his term only by passing a board resolution. Very good, because without board resolution you can't remove. So I think the answer is true. Okay, can I go to the next one? Huh? False. How come? No. What is all this? Huh? Nisha, true. True. Yes. Without board resolution. Board is important. Board is great. So without board resolution, we cannot remove. Board is a great authority. Without board resolution, we should not remove. Then what is required? What is required? Oh, central government, it seems. Central government, special resolution. What is required if you want to remove? It's their only board, so false. Okay. Smart. Okay, so this is false. I'm not seeing a phrase that I love to see. Prior central government approval, then special resolution. Where is all this given? Rule 7 of CAAR 2014. Okay, so that tells you clearly what is required. So friends, we spend enormous amount of time in our classes on these topics. Those who are struggling to recall this, please go back and watch those videos. Wherever you have doubts, please go back and watch those videos. You will get more comfort regarding this. Okay, right. So I hope we are clear about this. Now look at the next question. In considering the qualitative aspects of entities' accounting practices, the auditor may not become aware of possible bias in management's judgments. The question also we didn't understand. Forget answer. What is the question? I think Shravan Kumar said true. Okay, Wayne says false, somebody says true. Okay, friends, listen. In considering the qualitative aspects of entities' accounting practices, the auditor may not become aware of possible bias in management's judgments. Listen, management has an accounting policy. Okay, management has an accounting policy, basically some practice they're following. When you look at that practice, can you understand the management's bias? Is the question. If the answer is you can't understand, it'll go different. If the answer is, oh, you can understand, it is different. Okay, right. Now, management has an accounting policy. The practice is the company decided not to depreciate its vehicles, buildings, and furniture. That is a practice what they decided. Okay, they decided not to depreciate their buildings, furniture, vehicles, etc. That is a practice what you talk about. Does that tell you something about what outcome management wants? What, say what impact management wants? If you don't depreciate these, what will happen to P&L? What will happen to the profits in P&L? If you don't provide depreciation, what will happen to the profits in P&L? Profits will increase. Correct. Overstatement. Correct. I appreciate that. Overstatement of profits. Okay. If the profits are overstated, so if I want profits to be overstated, I am choosing some accounting practices. If my bias is that I want to show financials in some manner, I may do that. So friends, by looking at the entity's accounting practice, is it possible to become aware of management's bias? Yes, it is possible. So the statement that auditor may not become aware of possible bias in management's judgment is false. That is false. So tell me, if that word not was removed, then what would your answer be? Either may not, instead of it become may not become aware, if it says may become aware, then your answer is true, because it says may not become aware. That word not, highlight that. Because of that, the answer is false. If that word not is gone, then your answer would have been true. Okay, friends, is everybody clear about this question also? Yeah, right, great. Now let's look at eighth one. one of the key principles of accrual basis of accounting requires that an asset's cost is proportionately expensed based on period over which asset is expected to be used. What do you think? True or false? Sir, now we are scared to tell true or false. Something that looks like true is false, and something that looks like false is appearing to be true. Don't know, sir. Harshvardhan is the most intelligent person. So what he's saying is, sir, I am basically like Socrates. Socrates realized after years and years towards his death, he said, what I learned by living and being called as the wisest person is, I realized that I don't know more things than what I know. So Harshvardhan is almost at that stage now. Right. Now, okay. Friends, yes, Rupesh, you're right. It's predominantly about matching concept, where it's something like, you will depreciate the asset over its estimated useful life. So that way it gives benefit, and it's, when it gives benefit, you are assuming that benefits get credited to P&L and its cost gets debited to P&L over its estimated useful life. So that statement is true. Okay, right. Now, let us look at chapter 1. Friends, let's just do chapter 1 and 2 questions today. Others we will continue in our tomorrow session at same time. So look at this chapter chapter 1, page number 7 in RTP, nature, objective, and scope. So professional skepticism. Basically, the gist of the question is, professional skepticism refers to an attitude that includes a questioning mind, being alert to conditions that which may indicate possible misstatement due to error or fraud, and a critical assessment of audit evidence. The auditor shall plan and perform an audit with professional skepticism. Full story they are writing. Recognizing the circumstances may exist that cause the financial statements to be materially misstated. Explain, giving examples. 5 examples where auditor uses professional skepticism. Choosing materiality, professional skepticism. Accounting, evaluating whether accounting estimates made by management are reasonable or not. Use professional skepticism. Like this, you can give 5 examples where management, the auditor uses professional skepticism. I'll just back out. Basically, professional skepticism is that element where auditor is trying to be extra careful about what management has done when it comes to the accounting policies what management has chosen. Just now we saw in one of the questions, is the policy chosen with to achieve a management's bias, or is it chosen in a manner which is fair and just? So auditor will be alert to the possibilities that something might be wrong. Okay. Similarly, when it comes to accounting estimates made by management, auditor has to use his or her professional skepticism to see whether those things are okay or not okay. Is something wrong? Is there an underlying thing which is wrong? You have to use your professional skepticism. Similarly, in understanding the key risk areas or material areas where there could be material fraud risk factors, there also auditor will have professional skepticism, right? And so on. So you can give 5 examples. There are a lot of examples which we learn during the course. So wherever, yes, audit evidence where it contradicts, unusual transactions, related party transactions, all this correct, good. I'm very happy you're thinking about it correctly in those areas. You just give a few examples and talk about it. See, now you may ask me, sir, how big should my answer be? There is just a, give examples when they say, how big should our answer be? Friends, this is my thumb rule. If the question is for 5 marks, 5 marks into 1.5 minutes, 7.5 to max 8 minutes. In that time, you have to write the answer. So you will decide, maybe 4 or 5 points we can write. Beyond that, we may not be able to write. So that way, if it is only 2 marks question, then you will have to trim down your answer suitably. You will not elaborate on those. You will just mention and move on if it is just a 2 marks question, because if it is a 2 marks question, you just have 2 marks into 1.5, which is just about 3 minutes. So considering the time what you have, you will have to respond. Then both accounting and auditing are closely related. This is a theory question we have in our notes. You can just look at that. Look at 3A. As per SA 220, quality control for an audit of financial statements, the engagement partner shall take responsibility for overall quality on each audit engagement to which the partner is assigned. Explain clearly, stating the meaning of engagement partner. See, friends, engagement partner definition is there in our SA 220. Basically, the partner who is responsible for carrying out the audit and also issuance of audit report. So you have to write the meaning of engagement partner, and also actions of engagement partner and appropriate messages to other members of the audit engagement team in taking responsibility for overall quality of audit. So here you have importance of audit quality. We have points regarding that importance of audit quality. Why is it important to have audit quality? We have this in our SA 220, 3 points I gave. So just have a look at those points and you will talk about the definition of engagement partner. Then firms should establish policies and procedures designed to provided with reasonable assurance that policies and procedures relating to the system of quality controls are relevant, adequate, operating effectively, and compiled within practice. Such policies and procedures should include an ongoing consideration and evaluation of the firm's system of quality control, including a periodic inspection of the selection of completed engagements. Explain the purpose of monitoring compliance with quality control policies and procedures. Okay, right. Friends, for this, you have to talk about 3 things. If you have to ensure quality, you have to have compliance with the standards, laws, regulations, etc. Then you have to design and implement your policies well, and the reporting should be proper. Okay, so these points you need to bear in mind. Okay, friends, in the interest of time, I want to stop here today. We already, as per the expectation, said that we might extend by 15 minutes. I think we're already there. And I just want to know from you, on a scale of 1 to 5, how you find this session. You can communicate that over our app. I appreciate that, or even here. And tomorrow, we'll have one more session where we will cover the points regarding one more case study. So we'll have one more integrated case study, plus we will take up more questions in our tomorrow session and take it forward. Okay, so all right, so thanks for sharing your feedback. Friends, if you find value from these sessions, this is a reflection of what quality we at Indigo Learn stand for. We always believe in students first. Indigo Learn started only when we realized that students deserve more quality than what they get today. So considering that, please share this feedback. Please share Indigo Learn app on your WhatsApp status for a day if you can, and spread the word, because we believe that students at scale should deserve and should get the best. And if you can, each of you, share this on your WhatsApp status, share it on social media, and get more people to know about us, because the only people who have a right to talk about Indigo Learn is you. You are the ones who know the quality. No competitor can talk about it. No random social media should talk about it. Only our students have a right to say this is good or this is bad. If you think this is good, please go out, talk about it, and put up on your social media and get more students to know about our platform and why. Just write one sentence why they have to come and join this Indigo Learn platform. You just write a word that will really be helpful. All right. Thank you so much. I'll see you all tomorrow at 6 o'clock. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.